Hi everyone, for Design Project 3, a topic I worked on is fireproof shelter design. Forest fire is a major problem faced every year in California. 90% of fire is due to people's actions, and 10% is because of lightning or other lava activities. So, there are various problems in forest fire like poor air quality, housing or building in fire, and vegetation loss. So the problem which I have focused on is a problem of evacuation of life. So to add more essence to my topic, I've chosen evacuation problem of evacuation of elderly people. So research shows that above people above the age of 65 are prone to a lot of dying in fire, and people above 80 are at major risk, and every year 1,000 people above the age of 65 die in fire. So the reason behind the risk is that elderly people lack quick action, and since they are under a lot of medication, they do not respond quickly, and most of them live alone, so it's hard for them to cope the situation. So why a solution is required? So most of my target audience are having impairments like visual impairments, muscle impairments, and they have like respiratory issues, so they are at higher risk. So this is the graph which shows fire deaths against the age, and if you see, most of them are above the age of 80 who are at risk. So here's my problem statement. Lack of quick and efficient method to evacuate elderly people from the fire accident. So these are the existing products in the market in terms of fire, like firefighting drone, fire extinguisher, fire detector, bunkers, then these aluminum foil-like structure which will protect from very high heat. So there are various stakeholders involved in my project, like park rangers, fire rangers, old people, fire survivors, and nursing home in charge. So this is like an index of how I did my whole project, the design process. So first I brainstormed, then ideated the sketch into sketches, then researched and developed those sketches, then did mock-ups, and from the feedbacks of stakeholders, I refined the mock-ups and finalized the concept by matrix comparison method and developed the final direction. Here are the various brainstorming ideas. So from that, I chose a shelter design as my main idea, and there are various factors to be considered in shelter design, like it should be easily accessible and it should be designed for the target user. So here are various shelter designs, and I refined it and uh, developed into four concepts. This is the concept one, which is like a compressible shelter attached to your house. Then there's like a box-like shelter which can be lifted by a helicopter in term when there's a fire outbreak. Then this is a two-shelled concept shelter, and this is a flat structure and it can be made into a shelter. So these are the sketch models for these concepts, and the feedbacks from the stakeholders for all the designs. And here is a matrix comparison method of all the selected concepts, and it was ranked based on few factors like safety, should be compact, should be easily accessible, and should be cost effective. Of all these, the concept one, which is like a compressible design, uh, shelter design attached to your house, was the maximum, so I went with that. Here's my mood board. So the keywords I want to concentrate is safety, it should be compact, and the shelter should be easily accessible. Here's the sketches of my final design. The leftmost one is the closed or the compressed shelter, and the middle one is the expanded shelter. Here there are two frames, frame 1 and frame 2, and in between is the expandable material. And so when the shelter is closed, it's closed and it is kept closed using the latch. So there are two doors, front and the door. So the pull latch is what holds the shelter closed. so it can be opened from the outside also. So when you remove the pull latch, when you pull the latch from outside, the latch releases. Same way it can be pulled from the inside of the house also. There's a pull latch from the inside, so as you pull it, the latch releases and the frames are ready to move, so it can be opened from the outside and also from the inside. So once the latch is released, the frames are ready to move, and when you push the frame using the track and the wheel, the frame moves and there's a stopper for the wheels to stop. And this is the interior of the shelter. So each frame has two foldable chairs, two provision shelves which will have the fire extinguisher and oxygen cylinder, and also there's an air purification system. So this is the half-scale prototype made out of cardboard and flexible plastics, which shows different features used, like the latch, wheel, and the tracks. So here's the 3D model, and which explains the various design features in the shelter, and this is the exploded view. This is a close-up shot of the track and the wheel, and also the inside interior shot. It shows foldable chair, pull trigger, an air purifier, and also provision shelf. And these are more views of the interiors, side views and top views, and also of the exteriors. This is the technical or the orthographic drawings, front view, top view, and side view. And coming to color, material, and finish, material plays an integral role in my project, especially seafoam and Carbonex are the two main materials used. For the frames, I've used seafoam. It's basically a very lightweight board kind of structure, which is very highly resistant to heat. Carbonex also is highly resistant to heat and fire, and it can be many garments are made out of it, and it's very highly flexible. Most of the colors used are like neutral colors. So my product is called Safe Shell, and this is like the design poster. It shows various features and 3D renderings. More 3D renderings of my model, and this is one more shot of the shelter. Thank you.